Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Forex Market. Tuesday morning, here we go. We got the Swiss Japanese yen today. We want to follow up on the situation here. As you know, we've been very vocal about our bearishness on this one. We actually started way back when price hit 117.32. That was back at August, right? Middle of August, we had the first encounter with that big, resistance level. And from that point, we started to be strong advocates of a potential full-fledged downside reversal, which took some time to manifest. But at some point, about a few days ago, we've had that breakdown confirmation of that 115.26, which we declared as the main trigger to establish that downside reversal. Because I mean, when you hit that 117.32 back then, we felt that price could very well start to turn around. But of course, as usual, that turnaround takes time, right? Basically, price, what it wanted to do was topping out. It was topping out. It came from a strong upside trend, and that was the consolidation phase, which took place in the form of just a regular trading range, right? We had a few back and forth exchanges here. We can actually count those. We had 4, and of course the breakdown came with the 5th leg. Now we got in. We're having an active bearish position in place. It's still very small. You can see there's only one trade, right? And that's a continuation of a previous bearish campaign, which we started about 5 days ago when price broke below 116.17. So basically, we looked at 116.17 as the trigger, the initial trigger for us to establish bearish position here. And when price broke, we pulled the trigger, right? We got in and price went down. It was nice. It was it was advancing nicely on the downside, but then we had this remarkable spike right on that 115.26. Remember that move? And that felt a little bit suspicious. I have to admit, we got cold feet and we decided to close that position. I mean, we took some profit on the way down before we pulled out, but obviously the position was still very, very small, so even the profit itself was kind of limited. At this point, watching price breaking the hand out of that 115.26, that was actually on Friday, right, just before the weekend kicked in. So when we opened the market yesterday and opened the week, we saw price sticking its head outside of that box and breaking down that 115.26. So immediately we reestablished our short position. All right. Hopefully this time there's not going to be anything that's going to stop us from building up a big size position going downwards. Now let me take a step back so we can see the full picture. Then I'll switch to the weekly and monthly chart to show you the whole picture. But from this point, only from this angle, you can see that 113.63 is a big target for us, right? It's actually our secondary target, but it's a big one. So we might take some profit off the table, depending on the size of the position. Right now, it's too small to even think about it, but maybe we can get it bigger. I mean, right after this video, we're throwing one more trade into the mix here, right? So we're going to be 2 trades. We might even have to, we might be able to squeeze one more before we hit 113.63 here. But I'm assuming we're not going to be able to use that for profit taking, for profit taking spot here. What we can do is use this level as a big testing level, a big testing ground. If price will break through, we'll just know that it's on its way to 109.51, and we can start to focus on building a big size position, seriously bigger than what we're going to have until that point. I want to show you the big picture, guys. Check this out. Price had been breaking 115.26. You can see the breakdown confirmation coming from the weekly chart. That's a good thing. That's a good sign. And of course, the big picture coming from the monthly chart. It's a huge, key level system that engulfs a really big and wide trading range, sideways movement, if you will. Runs back all the way to the beginning of 2017, believe it or not. And of course, we talked about that before, but price was really precise, technically speaking, you know, trading inside of that key level system right now, just coming off the very edge of that system, and we think it's going to land back at the lower section. So there's a lot to look forward when it comes to the Swiss Japanese yen, right? Stop loss level is at 116.70. Once we hit only once we hit 113.63, we'll begin to adjust the stop loss level much more significantly. At this point, we want to keep a healthy distance from price action. So there you go. That's about that. Swiss Japanese yen. We'll be back with the next one, guys. See you then. Take care.